Would you please make welcome Sheryl Chand? Ho mai, he paki paki. Nui whakahara.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Sheryl Chand. I am a Year 12 at Solway College and I'm from the beautiful Wairarapa, which is about an hour from Wellington, and I'm here to share with you my Race Unity speech. Now, just to give you a bit of context, the Race Unity Speech Awards is a platform for high school students to express their views on race relations in Aotearoa and what they want to see happen practically in our nation and our institutions to help build a more socially cohesive nation. And I hope you enjoy. Take care of our children. Take care of what they hear. Take care of what they see. Take care of what they feel. For how the children grow, so will be the shape of Aotearoa. Dame Whina Cooper. Let's take a look at some of our recent news headlines. Streaming harms Māori education. Student attacked and hijab ripped off. 1 in 4 Asian students treated unfairly by teachers. Shouts, clenched fists, and threats. Concerns of racism at a popular university. Kura students racially taunted for speaking te reo Māori. These headlines highlight that racism is still alive in Aotearoa, and it's impacting the heart of our society. I stand here to remind you that children are not born racist. They learn racism in our schools, sports fields, parks, hospitals, homes, and on the roads. The children hear it, they soak it in, they meditate on it, and then they enact that harm in our community. Tokona Te Raki research last year found that the practice of academic streaming in schools was discriminating and racist. Young learners at primary and secondary schools are put into groups based on their perceived academic abilities in reading and mathematics. Analysts called streaming a systematic barrier to success, as Māori and Pacifica students were overrepresented in low stream classes and underrepresented in STEM careers. Research also shows that streaming often increases racial segregation within schools, and it damages students' acceptances of racial differences and general positive interactions between racial groups. Such systematic barriers not only affect our rangatahi's careers, but will also deprive our nation of an ethnically balanced workforce. This leads to increased income inequalities, poor health and social outcomes, and continues intergenerational poverty for such communities. The 2020 NZ Medical Workforce Report says that Māori and Pacifica doctors are noticeably underrepresented in proportion to their population size. Another recent research paper has shown that Māori and Pacifica have continued to be underrepresented in science faculties in the last decade. You see, the suffering and oppression of our Māori and Pacifica children impacts the community, and then the entire nation, because we are united in one whakapapa, inextricably linked like ngā mati no te ringa kotahi, the fingers of one hand. So for the mutual progress of all, we need to work together. In the Harakega flax, there are 3 main components which keep the flax strong and sturdy. In the middle lies the rito, the child. It is protected by its awhirito, the parents. Surrounding the rito and the awhirito is the tupuna, the grandparents and the ancestors. The survival of the rito is crucial to the survival of the entire Harakeke flax. Racism threatens the survival of the rito, for it is our rangatahi who are at the heart of oppression and suffering. Discrimination and oppression not only divide communities, but when left unaddressed, it is picked up and carried by rangatahi. So how can we each find our own roles in the work of eradicating racism and building social cohesion? Parents, teachers, coaches, and group leaders, as the awhirito of the Harakeke flax, needs to raise awareness of racial prejudice by engaging in race conversations and by providing children with ideas about how to stand up against racial iniquity, because social justice, like charity, begins at home. When this is done, the awhirito and the Harakeke flax is strengthened creating a flow-on effect in the rito, the children, the heart of Aotearoa. As rangatahi, we can support artists, writers, and activists who speak out against these injustices and share their work on social media platforms. In schools, we need to cultivate a culture in which kindness and compassion is practiced. After all, this is what will bring us together like the fingers of one hand. Racism comes with defensiveness and denial. Race unity comes with reparation and the restoration of mana. One such example was the 50-year overdue Dawn Road apology. The other is the ongoing Waitangi Treaty settlements. Government apologies and reparations restores trust and builds confidence back for the next generation. We cannot just stop here. We must align our policies, laws, and institutions with the underlying oneness and interdependence of all human life. Tungia te ururua, kia tupu whairitorito, te tupu o te harakeke. Burn off the undergrowth so that the new flax shoots may grow. There is a need to bring in a policy that abolishes all forms of educational streaming and provides alternative approaches that are more inclusive and benefits all learners. School boards need to appoint a cultural diversity facilitator who can bring different races together. For example, by facilitating the celebration of Race Relations Day in schools. On a national level, this can be promoted via national television with Race Relations Day advertisements and community events. The government, as a tupuna of the harakeke flax, needs to continue to develop and review policies on anti-racism by continuing to listen to the voices of Aotearoa on anti-racism. However, policies without practice are meaningless. So the government should continue to support our diverse communities by further strengthening the newly established Ministry for Ethnic Communities. One way they could do this is by forming an anti-racism task force under this ministry, whose key role should be to build an anti-racist competent workforce. This task force should involve Māori, Pākehā, Asians, and all those who are targeted by racism, and most importantly, our rangatahi leaders. This task force should run workshops throughout the entire country for all public and private sectors, providing them with the resources and tools to implement the National Action Plan on Racism, hopefully changing the behaviours and attitudes of our workforce. The implementation of the New Zealand history curriculum in 2023 is a big step forward in understanding one another through learning more about our history, which has shaped our nation today. This will help students grow empathy and build connections between each other, thus growing and strengthening the rito. You want the rito to survive and mature so it can be weaved into society. You see, the flax leaves, when they are warped, weft, and cross-threaded, it draws humanity together like the fingers of one hand. All are woven together to make a non-racist, more respectful, unified society. Manakitia tātou tamariki, manakitia ngā mea ka rongona e rātou, manakitia ngā mea ka kitea rātou. Nā te tupuria o ngā tamariki ara, pērā hoki te kanohi o Aotearoa. So how the children grow and work together like ngā mati no te ringa kotahi, so will be the shape of Aotearoa New Zealand. Thank you.